Hello again. We are still in week number one. In the last video, we looked at how you should start your chess journey. That is, once you have learned how to play the game and how the pieces move, what should the next steps be? And we looked at how to get yourself familiarized with the way the pieces move by playing against one of the lowest rated chess bots on chess.com. I hope you have played some games against Martin. Did you manage to win any games? Perhaps not. But I guess it's good to get some wins under your belt. So today we will look at some quick uh, ways to checkmate. Hope you enjoy this video. One of the quickest ways to checkmate your opponent is a method called scholar's mate. It's not the best way to win a chess game, but against opponents who may be beginners who don't know how to uh, stop this checkmate, you may win a reasonable number of games. So when you start chess, you can try this approach. But as you become better, you will figure out that stronger players do not fall into this color smith. But it'll definitely let you win some games. We start with moving the pawn in front of the king 2 squares. This is a very good move to start any chess game because it occupies one of the most important squares on a chessboard, one of these 4 squares, which we call the center. We will go at length and discuss the importance of the center and other ways of getting the pieces out. But the topic here is the scholar's mate. So I'm going to focus on scholar's mate. Let's say black does the same. You can move a bishop. And the bishop will be aiming at the square near the king. Assuming black moves a knight like this, we can try to move our queen to the square, and both our queen and the bishop are aiming at the square near the black king. There are many ways that black can stop the checkmate, but here we are hopeful that black will make a mistake. An unsuspecting beginner might play knight here, hoping to capture the white queen the next move. So what we can do here is move our queen to f7 with the square near the king, and it would be a checkmate. We win the game in just a few moves. Why is it a checkmate? So from this square, the queen is attacking the king. So we call it a check. Where can the king move to? It can't move up because the queen is controlling that square as well. There, there aren't any other squares for this king to move to. It's not possible to move a piece between the king and queen because there are no squares between the king and queen. And why can't the king capture the queen? It can't because my bishop here is protecting the queen so that if the king moves here, the king gets attacked. In chess, you can't move your king to a square where it gets attacked. That's an illegal move. That's why the computer is not allowing black to move the king there. Even if, when I try to drag it and drop it, it's not allowed. So this is a checkmate. This is called scholar's mate, one of the quickest ways to checkmate your opponent. It doesn't always work. It only works with beginners who are not aware of this checkmate. But when you start the game, it will work many, many times and you can get many quick wins. Okay, now let's try to see whether I can beat Martin on chess.com using Scholar's Mate. This is attempt number one to beat Martin on chess.com using the Scholar's Mate. I play white, Martin black. As usual, I move my pawn in front of the king, two squares, hoping. Okay, Martin does the same. I get the bishop ready, aiming at the king, very close to the king. I'm aiming at. Oh, he blocks the bishop. I take the pawn with the bishop. Still, the bishop is aiming at the square near the king. Okay, this is not going to work. The scholar's mate is not going to work here because I cannot move the queen there as his knight would capture my queen. At the same time, his knight is attacking my bishop. So I'm going to move the bishop away, not the best move. But yeah, my hope is that at some point he will fall into something similar to scholar's mate. Okay, now at least I can try scholar's mate with a move like this. Right? I'm aiming at the f7 or the square near the king. If he does not stop it, next move it will be checkmate. Really? Oh, he falls into it. Okay, it's checkmate. So it worked the first attempt itself.